And we're live.
And we are live. Shalom and Gadeo. Good to see you, Tevye and Comic Boom.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Hopefully we can get some more participants, but in due time.
Yep.
And let's start off talking about our favourite things in regards to Super Sons.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to start off, Comic Boom?
Yeah. Who goes first?
Well, I love the Super Sons. Let's face it, the Super Sons has a long and illustrious history, and it is such that it is at the hallmark of a lot of news because it was broken up. It was broken up when Bendis came to DC,
Trying to destroy everything.
and of course we want to focus on what we love about Super Sons with this fortress of attitude that we're now part of.
Yep.
And of course, nothing exemplifies attitude better than the Super Sons, with especially young Damian Wayne. Young Damian Wayne, the young 10-year-old, or I guess 13-year-old narcissist now.
Yep.
And of course, John Kent, who is a little bit, perhaps a little bit doe-eyed, naive, but super intelligent.
Yeah.
And the fact that these two could come together and form a super team, I mean, in many ways, they're black and white in many ways, but they make a pretty good miniature dynamic duo. And there's a reason why readers fell in love with them, and there's a reason why we're doing this live stream, and why I was honored to be part of this fortress of attitude so that we can talk about them.
Yep. Let's figure it out. But Super Sons out there were a great team, and they get destroyed by bullshit because Bennett took his main team and he messed it and he destroyed it for his crap. Because his reason we were going to have been bad action comics. This guy made no sense. It was a free little volume nonsense. But we're not talking about that because that book, I didn't land that book away and kill me. Action comics has been bad, but this team might give me hope, give me love, give me everything else but Super Sons. It was a great team. It was a great team between the two characters. Heck, when they made it, they like each other, but they grew to be a great friendship. And I always said we got the team for crap. Like, then Bendis. Yeah. But, well, I said, I love Super Sons. It's a great team. I love this team. They're cute. They're over the awesome. They're badass. But the chemistry on it is awesome. And, well, I love Super Sons. What did it say? Tell you?
I'm envious of that omnibus.
I happen to have the same omnibus at home too, so
Nice.
it's been unopened, but it's certainly worth the grab. I paid about $100 Australian for it here.
Yeah.
You know, it would be less in US dollar, but that's neither here or there. It's the stories that count.
Yeah.
If anything, I'd have to say Damian Wayne played an important part for me, sort of like coming back into comics and hearing this about the team up with Jonathan Kent and eventually the Super Sons has really come to make me really love comics once again. Of course, you've got the Son of Batman animated movies, which see Damian sort of like make his appearance as the heir of the Bat, but also of the Demon, and also what he's been brought up in, like his own lifestyle. That gets completely changed around, and then you move into Rebirth and the fantastic work that Tomasi did. Speaks volumes. Literally speaks volumes. You can tell that he loves writing these characters, and that's what you need. You need someone who loves writing these characters to make him stand out.
Yeah.
And he does it. He does it perfectly. Well, you know, he's not perfect per se, but it's perfect imperfection. Hey, good to see you, Chrono and Ed Brewer. got some people who've joined us. Yeah, we've got Chrononaut.
Hello. My weird team. Oh, that was due to John for debut. Sit down.
Oh, that was awesome to read through. To read both Lois and Clark.
Yeah. This series might be epic. We're going on to get no DCU era. Okay, we're going to DCU. DCU was typically out of Convergence, which Convergence was bad. Convergence was an awful series. Right about that thing. No, it's like an Earth 2 character. No, get him out. Earth 2. Earth 2 was a boring. Okay, the Earth 2 type of content was excellent, but whole Convergence was so stupid because. Yeah, bit of an echo.
Well, I bet the good thing Convergence sort of did have was the Superman story in it.
Yep, the Superman story and the Flash story are my favorite stories.
To which we get our super son, John Samuel Kent.
Yep.
And I do happen to have that trade paperback of Convergence at home, and I've read it. In fact, I used a page from it to cover my character history, or my covering of the character on Rainbow Press and Comics.
Yeah, and I actually use a parent well known when I did that in my character on John Kent too, because the main book itself is awful. We all know that, but that book did give us some good stuff. It gave it John actually like for the parents. And it was thanks to this series, we got to this main series. And keep in mind DCU era was a mess.
Yeah, I find it very ironic that I wasn't really a fan of Grant Morrison's Batman, but I was glad when Damian Wayne was introduced. And just like I wasn't a fan of Convergence, but I was happy when Jonathan Kent was born. And so it's nice that from two stories that I didn't like, two very good things came from it, and that was the Super Sons. So that was it's serendipity.
Yep, I agree 100%.
I'm old school. I still got to read the comic books. I don't have the omnibuses like you guys do, but I got to tell you, I reading the 12 issues of the Adventures of Super Sons, which of course, when Bendis was hired by DC, they placated Tomasi and they made him feel better by at least giving him a 12-issue series to write. And it's funny reading this 12 issues from beginning to end. I appreciate the story all the more because it's very entertaining. It's actually quite funny, very comical.
Yeah.
I love Rex Luthor. It's hilarious, and the Justice Gang. I mean, they're adorable and ridiculously evil at the same time. And I love everything from Tommy Tomorrow to the robotic Jonah Hex that were in it. I mean, it's a really fun story.
Yeah.
And it just puts a smile on my face, and it's really great to read, especially now in these pandemic times. It's nice to read something that puts a smile on my face. It's a nice distraction.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. In fact, this series, I remember before, it's 12 Issues Magazine series, but damn it, it's a fun 12 Issues Magazine series, in my opinion, because this is a ton of fun. You get like a comic series, but it's a red John Bujan with the red kryptonite. That was so funny. So John explained to you, like, who are you? Like red John Bujan. It was so hilarious. It was so funny. Like this series reminded me of a great series. It was a ton of fun. It was cute, adorable, and I played both red John Bujan hates have like quotes. Like these guys are funny. I know you would come when I see one. We just one day it's very that. Then you go, shut Robin. See, both red John Bujan. What's that name? That's hilarious. Like this is why I love the series. I'm like, it was a great series. I mean, I give it hope and love. And since we are in a dark, depressing pandemic, unfortunately, we need hope and love. Which why I've been begging DC out to give me a Super Set anime series. I said before, I think it's the day I die. We need a superstar animated series, animated something to give us hope.
An animated series would be a great idea. I would love to see the 12-issue Adventures of Super Sons, an animated series on TV. That would be great.
Yeah.
And hopefully DC will do that. I mean, they're doing all their Elseworlds tales that they're animating those. It'd be nice if they could animate Super Sons, because, you know, at the end, on the very last page of the 12th and final issue of Adventures of Super Sons, it says "Never the End."
Yeah.
But yet we haven't really gotten the story since this ended.
Yeah.
And it's really sad. And I think it's fair to say that Superboy in the future, in the Legion of Superheroes, that's not really, I don't really think that's
not John.
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that, in my opinion, imposter from Bendis, right? I have a weird suspicion that when Bendis read, they got retcon that story. Then, oh no, that's not all John. That's Earth 3 John from Earth 3 from the Crime Syndicate.
But guys, I got a good theory though. Remember, it was an issue 4 of Adventures of Super Sons. Superboy, John Kent, was split into Superman Red and Superman Blue.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember that.
I remember.
But,
Yes, I remember that.
Remember that when Superboy Red and Superboy Blue, when they merged back together again, they never actually showed it.
Yeah,
they never actually showed it. It happened in the House of Wonders.
Yep.
In that Wonder Machine, right? And so my theory is we could say that they were split, and that somehow one of them was aged up, and that was the aged up version of John Kent, and the other one is still young and he's trapped somewhere. And so I would somehow use that as a story beginning to bring back a younger John Kent.
That is actually not a bad idea. In fact, that theory would make a ton of sense, because, like I said, during the series, when Red John and Blue John and they get split, we didn't seem like come out together. That's how it wonders. So
Sounds better than a Bendis story.
Yeah, because no one's Bendis, so I mean, you mess it up because Ben don't mind me whenever in Superman. Like the main Superman book, it's just stupid. Like, oh, you should have mentioned Superman book. It's just bad. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'll give Bendis this. He does have some things that I do enjoy. But it's not his DC. It's not his Marvel. In fact, it's his independent stuff that I like.
It's any stuff. I mean,
yeah, he's Jinx World.
Which you can do whatever the hell you want.
Powers I enjoy.
I think the show. I
think that's a reasonable, good series.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's got a real knack for it, because the way it comes across, it's like he's taken the the world of Law and Order and mixed it with a superhero universe.
Yep.
Hey, good to see you, Eric.
Face of it, I am.
Not happening.
I understand.
But you're welcome to join, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
So you can share what you think of the Super Sons.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree.
I think they should bring back Rex Luthor.
I agree. They should.
Just to piss off Lex Luthor.
That would be hilarious. That would be so funny. Like, I would be all for that, because Lex Luthor is such an innocent villain. Like, he's not Rex, except like his son, but he's going be a jerk. I mean, this psychopath kid is more psychotic than I figured. Holy shit, he does a dark stuff in the series.
Well, let me tell you something. Like, Adventures of Super Sons was way better than Year of the Villain.
Agreed.
In Adventures of Super Sons, Rex Luthor he gave abilities and powers to a lot of the people on that prison planet, Peglar, whatever it is. And so it was like Year of the Villain all wrapped into one. but it was much better, and it was only 12 issues long, and it was funny, and it was more action packed,
Yep.
and it was just more, and it was just fun. It was a good read, and it was very well done. And
Yep.
I mean, I love how I love Tommy Tomorrow. I mean, I can't believe they had Tommy Tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't know Tommy Tomorrow is, but why I read the series, Tommy Tomorrow was the character I knew nothing about him. But the minute I saw him in this book, I said, okay, who is this guy? He is pretty awesome. Yeah, he knew Lobo, the main man. Oh, yeah. Lobo, he had to make a cameo in the series.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys, what do you think of Kid Amazo or Amazo? What do you think of him? Or Amazo?
He's great.
Do you like that character?
Mm-hmm. I do like him. He's a very cool villain in my opinion, because this kid, it's holy shit insane. I mean, like, this kid is super dark. He killed his own parents and sister. Well, literally, they're as robots, and she is fucking like this is more dark as a psychopath kid who needs to be stopped. That when Superman do find him, it's actually hard to see him as they like take him down. It's awesome. Like even the armor becomes sentient. We need more of it, but dark. And Eric Wayne. Oh, sorry.
So who is the top villain of the Super Sons? Do they have a top villain? Is it Rex Luthor or Kid Amazo? What are some of the other villains? What's the top villain of the Super Sons? What would you?
The Savior, aka Evil Tinjek from the future.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about him.
Yep. Who actually came back in time and then Detective Comics to go out to Batwoman because Batwoman was wrong for the future being in dark. But then that plan failed, so he said, okay, that plan failed, go to plan B. Kill John Kent to save my future. But that plan also failed. Because the time tomorrow they came back in time to save future Evil Tim Drake from doing a horrible mistake. And then he got trapped in the multiverse because of hyper time. Hyper time is confusing in a concept in itself. So trying to explain hyper time is a minefield. But besides Savior, we also had Untitled show up in this series. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Bandit's number one.
I think you're saying the number one villain of the Super Sons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Then you also got to include Dan Didio.
Great.
Well,
Can't forget that because. But don't get me wrong, even Dan Didio did actually bring out something that I did enjoy, and that was actually Sideways. I understand that there were some people who didn't like that Dan Didio was working on Sideways, but he also had a good co-creator alongside him, Rocafort, Kenneth Rocafort.
Kenneth Rocafort, you know what that.
And he also worked on the artwork. And some of the art in that run was really amazing. I liked what was put in there. I liked the time and effort that was put in there. My only problem is I would have been more sympathetic to Dan Didio if he sort of like stretched that series to about maybe 50 issues and maybe changed it to bi-weekly.
Yeah, because that book got canceled, and speaking of Sideways didn't appear in Young Justice. Even though that didn't make a sense at the end of his series, he quit being a hero and went with his girlfriend. So
Yeah.
why is he in Young Justice if he left the superhero group a long time ago? I'm lost. I don't get the concept. Oh, speaking of Year of the Villain, I want to ask about this. Did I read the finale Year of the Villain? Anyone? No? Except me?
I never caught the tail end of what you said.
Basically, at the end of Year the Villain, because at the end of Year the Villain, we see that let's see, returns human again. 5 minute laughs. Somehow commit perpetuate the.
Oh, you're talking about the last issue, Hallorism?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I did manage to read that. I think Comic Boom covered it on his channel.
Yeah, I covered it too, and
Yeah.
I felt confused, not angry because I wasn't angry, but like, in fact, I'm glad the infected is done. The issue I hope would embarrassingly good, but my main problem is the Year the Villain stuff. The Year the Villain was like pointless. Nothing happened. It was a waste of time. None of the time mattered. It was an awful event. I mean, it was 6. It was like villains, mom. It's when you would change it all the way except some of them even worse. And that Year the Villain 2-man issue was connected to Superman somehow, even though it didn't. What? When they 9 planets. Okay, my brain's on continuity is a mess right at DC. It's a nightmare. Oh.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
I think there's a lot of potential that right now with comic books being delayed right now, I'm hoping that with this pandemic that DC will have more time to maybe take the time to put more thought into the direction and the future of what the heroes of the DC universe will be and how they will be written. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we're going to get I really hope we're going to be getting more hope and more rebirth. And I'm hoping that these depressing pandemic times will inspire DC to embrace rebirth and hope as we go into death metal, which has been delayed. And I'm hoping
That's been delayed. I know what that's.
Well, no. Well, I mean, it's being delayed from the pandemic. We're not going to be getting comic books.
Oh yeah, okay, Diamond.
4 months, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know if we're going to get comic books for the next 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? So it's pure speculation at this point. And so I'm wondering if what DC is doing in the meantime. Obviously, Marvel has to think about the same thing, but in the context of Super Sons, you know, I would like to think that I wish DC would do something, would put something out digitally or give us fans something for free online to entertain us every Wednesday. And I don't know, I read the box and maybe do something creative, you know.
The only issue with that book we have now, but in general, outside main comic is this. It's Poetry Project.
Have you read that?
Yeah, I read it, and it's fine. It's an Elseworld story, but it's very weird because they took him with the Ian Wayne, which why? I don't get it. And the main
cringy.
Which I get it. It's supposed to be little kid. That's fine, but it's weird. It's confusing. Like what? Okay, fine. I read it. Volume 1, Volume 2. Volume 1 is fine. Okay. I'm back.
Yeah, I've read the I've read the first volume as well, and then I've got the second one waiting to be read through.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's Elseworlds though, but they need to be very clear or more clear that it's an Elseworlds story at the beginning of the book.
Agreed.
That's the only thing that sort of is missing for it.
Well, give me can one of you give me a synopsis of what the book is about? Like, how is it different?
It's
basically climate change message plus add characters related to superheroes.
That's a big idea.
Like we haven't heard that enough already.
Yeah, that's a big idea.
It's more of a political stunt. for young adults. Nothing more, nothing less. And I think in some cases it does a better job than Greta Thunberg.
Your mind it's consistent, makes sense. But speaking of Super Sons, I want to talk with their age of crap.
How's the art? How's the art in that series?
It's actually kind of good, but it's actually decent. Like it's not bad, but it's okay. It's actually decent, but it's not good actually. Like Jorge Jimenez, obviously Jorge Jimenez is golden, but it's good. It's decent at best.
It's cartoonish at best.
Yeah, it's cartoony. Like, personally, in my opinion, the two volumes I read, volume 1 is cringy. If you get past it, it's fine. Volume 2, it's better. I'm not saying much. I'm not in volume 3 yet, but if I do volume 3 on Hoopla, I'll try to review it. But yeah, trying to review that's very difficult. But as I said, what planet is October from? Good question. What planet is he from? Let's see. The Arctic. Let's see.
Actually, if it's one thing I like in Adventures of the Super Sons, it's the Joker Jr.
Yeah, Joker Jr. I keep that fun.
The only Joker that's a good guy.
Yeah. Even though he betrayed the Super Saiyan acting left and right, he spent time at the own trunk and leaves it behind, and then he gets blasted by Deadshot Jr. Who that actually is funny. Not much of a video yesterday for some reason. Like, Joker Jr. might be very easy to turn on, man. He's actually a very easy complex, but also dark because he ran killed by Lex Luthor. But holy shit, Joker Jr. cannot catch a break. Like really. And this series of Year the Villain 10 times better than the Year the Villain. The Year the Villain was garbage. Like forget Year the Villain. Just have Lex Luthor and power at the all the villains. Let him be the real Year the Villain crap. Because you got more smarter than Rex. Rex is an idiot. And even how was Rex an idiot? What the? I did everything right. I saw the movie. What that bad right? I did everything. Oh shut up, Luthor. And then she pulled Luthor away. For Battle X. Oh, good. Would that Battle X be the main puppeteer and everything? Why? Why? I am so down to Battle X. Battle X, I am so tired of him. He started cool in metal, but now he's been so overrated and so, again, so nuts. Like, come on, bro, what's your band Battle X? Do you think he's gonna die in death metal?
Okay.
Cockrum?
I got a question.
Oh.
How if we had to give Damien a girlfriend, who would it be in the DC?
Oh, I know. Omen. No. Omen. My bad. Nobody.
Oh, that's Maya.
Nobody.
Hard.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. And
That's a tough one because I don't know any woman that would put up any girl that would put up with Damien. Maybe nobody would, but
nobody would. But I think that character's become sort of like more like a sister to him. So it might be a little bit hard because he might not want to cross that line.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like understandable too. Like, you know how sometimes you get to know a girl or a friend that well that they feel like a part of your family.
Yeah.
So in that, it might be a little bit hard. Of course, there's the thing brought up with Imiko, which was brought up in Teen Titans. Again, hard to tell. You don't know what direction they might take the character. I know they tried with the Jin. Worst decision ever.
Oh yeah, Jin. I don't know. It's so boring.
And how old is she in that bloody body?
30 years old.
Yeah. There's something that you sort of don't want to cross there.
Yeah, that's weird. How can she be a teenager at 30 years old?
Yeah, it's a line that you sort of don't want to cross. So for that, yeah, she might look young in appearance, but age says different.
Yeah.
Bad choice, care of Adam Glass in that, I must admit. Very bad choice. He could have even made the character a new genie, sort of like new to the trade, but a little bit younger. That would actually work a little bit better.
Yeah, she traveled for 30 years. She should be older than that. Like, how does she put the teenager in a mortal way? Okay. This could be the I'm gonna say. If Jane is 1,000 years old, right, if I'm savages, then why is her mind still a teenager? Her mind should be a lot more older than that. Okay, I'm confused.
Yeah, now you see the issue with that character.
Yeah.
Of what he's brought in. Right? I like the idea, but I think if you had have made the genie a little bit younger, sort of like, for example, working around like what they did with Raven.
Yeah.
Like, considering that she's sort of like meant to be the equivalent of Raven or whatever else in the Teen Titans.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go Ed Bula. Sorry.
What's Ed got to say? That character hasn't been not a hero, more like a normal girl. Alicia Masters to Ben Grimm.
Yeah. What's your name? The way you're going to mind you on these. Oh, that's dark.
Yeah, I really think Adam Glass shot himself in the foot there, because the way even of the hints of romance in that story, I don't think it was really necessary, and I don't think it was really needed. Now, I know this is sort of like addressing the Teen Titans after Justice League No Justice.
Yeah.
Now, I'll give Adam Glass this. The editor working with him remembered to put in the things that I actually enjoy looking out for in my stories.
True. It was just
Such as easy identification of cast of characters. That's simple, all right? Because if you've got that, at least you know who is who.
Yeah. Because reading superheroes, you just find that book in the front of the
Location, he gave us location. Time including date references, and comic references, like important comic references that might relate back to a previous or a couple of comic issues back, or even to a story arc, which being Justice League No Justice.
Yep.
The editor did a great job with that, working alongside with Adam Glass. That was fantastic. I will give him that, because even though the story might not be super good as what it was under Benjamin Percy, because I love what Benjamin Percy did, even bringing in John Samuel Kent.
Yep.
That was great. That was absolutely great. Planet of the Capes. That was such a good little arc. Planet of the Capes in Super Sons.
Yeah, it was adorable.
Ooh, here's a good question. Who would be the worst choice to be Damien's girlfriend or not?
Crush. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Crush and Damien, they're like a match made in hell. They would kill each other.
My goodness. Ooh.
Yeah.
I'd still stick with the Jin because of how old her character is.
Yeah. The Jin's weird.
Because it comes off like Judas Contract story where Deathstroke was sleeping with a certain somebody.
Oh yeah, Terra.
Yeah. Sorry. I prefer those lines not to be crossed.
Yeah.
Prefer those lines not to be crossed.
Terra's weird. Oh, I miss this team so much. This team was awesome.
It was a good story.
Like
That's the Super Sons of Tomorrow.
no, this is going to Planet of the Capes.
Oh yes, Planet of the Capes.
Like,
That was.
I miss the team. This team was but why did the finish?
I love the funny thing that there was a funny thing that they did in that story arc is that Damien got aged up because of someone's magic. And here's Damien coming in and out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
And John's just watching him.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That made me laugh. Why don't you shooting at the mall, this crossover? Oh, it's showing me to get adamant for evil in the future. Save it. I
also did a bit of work in the Super Sons of Tomorrow story too. Well, he helped write with the story as well. So
he wrote the Teen Titans story.
I like what Patrick Gleason did in the Robin Son of Batman arc.
Yeah, we're different than DCU.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite stories.
Yeah,
both the first and the second volume. I loved them both, and I also enjoyed the character that they or the other character that they brought into that. Durga. I think it was Suram Durga.
Yeah, I think of Durga. Let's see if I can find it. Images.
And that's a character that I'd also like to see return to sort of like be there with sort of like Damien.
Yeah.
Where the character of the Heretic recently turned up in the Teen Titans.
With that could be the hell. I mean, why is he? Wait.
What? Why was he brought back?
Yeah, why?
Only for a MacGuffin of a book. That's the only thing. To which Damien has to now use in the next story arc.
So stupid.
Yeah.
No idea.
That's all he was basically brought in for.
Oh, well, that's disappointing with the time. But I found the first volume 1 year of blood, if you can see. Wait, when you fight Deathstroke, when the hell did that happen?
Oh, did you miss that?
Yeah.
Deathstroke storyline, Batman versus Deathstroke. It's actually set before Lonely Place of Living, and it's got to do sort of like with no Tim Drake around.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a scandal as to, okay, maybe Damien is really Deathstroke's son. And I must admit, Christopher Priest really had me in it as a Damien reader also on edge because I didn't know how he was going to go. But it wasn't until I think it was the third issue in that run where they had sort of like Damien at the end of the page or on the last page. And the way Damien was drawn, I must admit, Damien was drawn quite well within the story.
Yep.
And then I knew, oh, shite. This is a little bit like the Leviathan arc,
Except
where Damien actually knows what's happening plan-wise, and he's just going to go along with it.
Yeah. You got the Leviathan arc, which is so good. I'm stupid.
Even though it had nothing to do with the Leviathan arc, I saw similarities. Because if you remember in the Leviathan story arc, especially in the Batman Incorporated,
Batman Incorporated.
Leviathan story arc.
Not Batman.
No, not Bendis. It wasn't done by Bendis. Batman Incorporated.
Grant Morrison.
Yeah, Grant Morrison. All right. In that, Damien has worked out his mother's plan. Like, even though he doesn't say a lot in it, you can see that he's worked it out in his head by how well the art has been done. Yeah, you do get some points where it's sort of like pointed out. Yep, we just lost Comic Boom there. I hope he'll come back.
Where you go? I'm hoping he does come back, but back on track.
He sort of works out what his mother's plan is, and hold on, device. Here we go. I think he's fixing himself up.
Okay, sorry guys.
Welcome back, Comic Boom.
I went out to I was checking out the chat on my iPhone, and then I pushed the X and I blocked out. So.
No problem.
Right. That happened to me at the once.
He basically works out that his mother wants him, sort of like, yes, even though she sent out a contract for him, it, of course, probably really gets Batman himself, Bruce Wayne Batman, in the most angry state that you ever see in that run. But you know what? It's really good to see that, because wouldn't you expect the father to be angry if, like, someone was targeting your real child?
Yeah, and not to mention
even if it's like their legit mother wanting to see their death. Yeah. And what happened in that? Then what happened to the heretic in that?
Mm-hmm. You got a headshot though.
Yeah, he ended up dying after Damien's death, so lovely.
Yep. Speaking of Heretic did appear in DC anime Batman Bad Blood, which is kind of a combination of Batman Incorporated fused with Batman Rock. Well, not Batman Dawn shit. They combined with the different Batman stuff. And you with the whole Batman Incorporated stuff. But the way the Heretic in the anime movie was fine. Oh, how about Armor? I love the Armor. Awesome. Like, I love the Helmet Armor. Helmet Armor is so cool. Like, I want that toy. That toy is awesome.
I'm playing with myself while I'm listening.
Yeah.
Is that Batman Beyond?
No. That's the Helmet Armor.
Oh, Helmet.
Oh,
that was awesome, that.
It's about a Superman. When Rose Wayne got the armor, it was awesome.
I want Damien to have his own Hellbat suit, and I want him to go to Apocalypse where the real Jonathan Kent is being held against his will to rescue him. And then they travel to the 31st century and kill the evil 17-year-old. And then everything's restored to normal.
I would be all for it. That'd be an awesome story. Like,
Right.
you know, I'm not going killing. That's way too far. But but then you should have to go to the podcast, say that to his friend, and have to kick off the ass. But at the
Well,
same time, also stop the imposter when showing his name. Oh, that awesome story. That's a good idea. Oh shit! The reason the one we recruit John, seeing John, that's the reason superhero. That is a fake reason superhero from another part of the future.
there is sort of something in the Batman, Batman and Robin run, which you do see, and there's sort of like a bit of an unfulfilled prophecy in there, and it still hasn't been addressed even in Rebirth, and even to the present. And
What's the prophecy?
It's got something to do with Damian Wayne playing a part in basically saving the DC universe,
Something like that.
and it still has not been addressed. And wouldn't it be interesting if the person who manages to get, well, they could even work it into a story, that they could use Damian to be the one that brings John Samuel Kent, the original John Samuel Kent that we love, back into the DC universe.
Well, that was even in the latest issue of Legion of Superheroes #5. They refer to Jonathan Kent as the one true Superman in the future, and they've already in Legion of Superheroes issue 4. They mentioned that Damian has the potential to either be the greatest evil of the 21st century or the savior. So they've already hinted at that Damian and Jonathan are very, very important to the future. So who's to say we won't get a young Super Sons again?
Even though we just super they also mentioned Damon Wayne like weapon memory from existence, which that pissed me off so much. I did weapon on it. I'm so mad at it. What? You fucking Wikipedia, I mean.
I didn't really like what Bendis sort of like hinted in that, sort of like calling him a little Hitler, because there's a big issue there. There's a big problem that he's not paying attention to Damian's lineage.
Yeah.
You can sort of see that he's not paying attention to Damian's lineage. Yes, he is related to Tyler Al Gore, but he's also related to Batman. Thing is, Batman by technicality, like understanding that yes, his mother was Jewish. So that would make, in turn, Bruce Wayne Jewish.
Yeah.
By default, but because he chose to follow the Catholic faith, that's all on him. That's his choice, his reason. And that's because he was like brought up on that sort of links to his father's side of the family.
Which is down the corner.
That's neither here or there, but it's just something to think about. Then we got to take into account that Damian's auntie is also Jewish. Kate Kane.
Yep.
That would in turn make Damian himself also partly Jewish. So trying to make him out to be a Hitler ain't a very wise idea.
It's not at all. It's so stupid that it makes no sense.
Because you've already got enough conspiracy nutters out there that want to play the game that, oh, do you know that Hitler was a J-word?
No,
he was actually Austrian.
The guy was stuck on fucking gems on me, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think the reference to Little Hitler was more, I think it was maybe meant to be more about him being a conqueror and an evil conqueror, not necessarily a reference to the Holocaust or anything against Jews. But still, I agree with you. I agree with you, Tehillim, that I agree with you that the reference to Damian as Little Hitler, it sounds like a joke at first. I personally think that I think it's a mistake to always. I'm not a big fan of how DC always sort of exaggerates Damian as if he's this major threat. I mean, he's still just a kid, and I think they would have more. I think they get farther with Damian by just playing him for what he is. He's just a narcissistic little 13-year-old kid that's a super genius, but he's kind of annoying in a cute kind of way. And he's just on the cusp of becoming a young man, a teenager. He's just entered the teen years. This guy shouldn't be written like an adult. That's not why people. We don't need a teenage Robin. We have Drake for that.
Oh,
we already got another Robin for that. Damian Wayne is funner, is a more fun, enjoyable character when he's written like a 13-year-old. The problem is that you write him like an adult too much of the time, and I think it just loses something. When they had in Teen Titans, when they had Damian, have his own prison for bad guys.
That made me mad. I was pissed about that.
Anyways, it was kind of, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, but it was, to me, that it's missing the point of the character, because that's not who Damian is. Maybe if Damian was 18 or 19, but not when he's 13. I just
It was so stupid. I mean, it made no sense, because what the hell are you doing? I was like, why are you being Damian a warden? Putting an adult. Oh no! Wait a minute. I use it. We're telling Tyler. Wait. Then I kind of. Oh, I got blown up. It's so stupid. And the way Damian Wayne had to go to Deathstroke makes no sense. Because why would Deathstroke go against Damian Wayne? What's his angle? What's his deal? What's the point of the guy? The Titans, I guess, Deathstroke hates pain. It's a green team. Why go after Damian Wayne? It makes no sense.
A question for the audience: what are your favorite Super Sons story arcs?
Oh, I'm trying to screen share it again. Sort of.
Like, whoever's still watching, what's your favorite story arc? In the comments section, what's your favorite story arc in relation to the Super Sons? Like, it could be the beginning point, which is seen in Superman. It could be in the first actual Super Sons story arc.
Yeah, so I'm trying to tell you, Robin War, which is all been due to you. Gee, they were a bad idea. They I'm not kidding.
I was talking Super Sun story arcs. If that's one story arc that, I agree, it probably wasn't the best written, but it was basically there to help prop up Duke Thomas.
It was.
If anything, and to show what happened with him and his family.
Yeah.
But mainly his parents.
Not to mention how Robin War kind of was a bad idea. Because it was just stupid Duke Thomas. I'm Duke Thomas, I would call it. You call that himself what you did in the story, because it's Real Robin. Who said that Real Robin? Real Robin's so boring. I'm getting a Real Robin. I'm glad that scene with the fan. Oh, good on that time this book. It sucked. The time of the Robin was garbage. Oh, I forgot they do the people at the end, Harley Quinn show. But you know what? That was funny.
I haven't even watched it yet.
No, it was really good, because that show was very awesome. And I said to Dad, on the show, that was totally funny. I want to see it.
It would be awesome to see it as an animated series. I do agree.
Yeah, but the reason we had that on Harley Quinn show, I always see John Harley Quinn show. Yeah, they might be really weird, but then it would be a parody, it would be funny. It was John on the Harley Quinn show. I'd pay to see that.
Okay, Comic Boom has put in the gang war in Adventures of the Super Sons. Well, if I remember, doesn't that play out on that prison type planet? If I remember correctly, that was so clever. I liked how Tomasi did that. He really put a lot of thought and effort into it. And then how they had to escape that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be a perfect animated series. It would be a perfect animated cartoon.
All the story animated series.
I like Trials of the Super Sons, sort of like the one that sets the course for the Super Sun series to start.
Yeah, volume 1.
You can't forget that. It's great. Probably number 1, like for starts. If it was sort of like in top 3. I think the second, I did like Planet of the Capes, the Kid Amazo one. I'd probably move on to Parent Trap.
Yeah, Parent Trap's great.
I liked I liked the story in Superman issue 45.
Issue 45.
It was just a one shot, but it was the final issue before Bendis came on board. Superman issue 45.
Oh, that was so good.
The farm into the city. I thought that was really nice. Now, I realized that I don't think Damien was in it, but it was nice. John Kent. I like John Kent in that. I just liked how it was kind of a little sad too, but it was the end of an era. But I enjoyed that final issue or that last issue of Tomasi before Bendis ruined everything.
Yeah, but Bendis took them here.
Well, if it's one thing about Tomasi, he also knows how to finish a story nice and smoothly too.
Yeah.
Like, he gives it a nice smooth start, then gives us the crinkly bits along the way, in other words, showing the ups and downs in the story. And then, as soon as you think it's not going to end right, he gives a good surprise ending that you don't expect. Oh, issue 45. That was before they moved to the city. Leaving Hamilton and moving to the city, and you had the Flash helping.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I love that.
I love that too.
That was real clever.
It was good.
That and I were a great story.
Oh, don't forget Boy Zaro.
Oh, Boy Zaro! I love that story.
And Robin Zaro. That was cool.
Yeah, that was great.
That was so cool. In case you might have missed it, viewers, Boy Zaro did happen to make an appearance in the Terrifics.
Oh, I missed that. I'll have to read that.
Yes, it was through one of the new writers. I think it's Jean Luang. I might have said it incorrectly, or might have the name incorrect, but it was definitely in one of the new arcs in the 20s, and it was really good. And you got to see the appearance of Bizarro again, and you saw Boy Zaro. You didn't get to see like all of the rest, but those who made their appearance. But it was still really good. It was still really good.
Yeah. I do love this book. This is what the last time I got to young content. Fuck them now. I'm not.
Then there's the action detectives of Adventures of the Super Sons, which brought us our new villains. That would probably be the third, just out of top 3.
My top 3 in general: Volume 1, Try Super Son; Volume 2, Planet of the Apes; But my other story I've already done before you all back in time. Like this in my opinion my first story because this story kind of red and blue John. That was funny. But honestly, my other story of all these has to be Super Sen or Jamal because this crossover in my opinion was very awesome, very a great crossover. Because yeah, John gets Super Saiyan kind of story. Wait, no. Wait, John had been so Flair, kind of gone Dragon Ball Z. That was epic.
Unfortunately, most of my original Super Sons run is in storage. I could only get the Adventures of Super Sons. I couldn't manage to get my other run to reread. So
Yeah.
That's fine, comic book.
That's okay, man. Like, especially with the time right now with the virus going on now, which
well, actually, you guys are reminding me of all the good stories. Like that's why I'm laughing because I'm just reminding as I'm listening to you, you're reminding me of how crazy some of the stories were. It was it's enjoying listening to this because it's bringing back good memories and good stories.
Well, that's why I've also got a website too,
Rainbow Press
which
Comics.
is also called where is it?
Rainbow Press Comics.
Super Sons Fortress of Attitude. I'll post it in text here.
Gotcha.
And this will be the official first video to go onto that website. So
Nice. Yeah. Like I said, no, I love Super Saiyan. I've been betting DC anime series because I said before I said this that I die. We need a Super Saiyan anime movie because with the upcoming Apocalypse War, I did have theories, because with that anime movie being a comedy of Darkseid War fused with Justice Dark, my favorite anime movie did open the door for the set in general. They did open the door to one to Super Sons. Because think about it, Justice Apocalypse War is combined Justice Dark through Darkseid War. And since Darkseid War with the end of New 52, and since that will maybe have the Flash change the timeline, what if they open the door to Super Saiyan, with Jonathan doing find being born in the DC AMU universe? Do you think that's possible?
you never know what the Warner Brothers side of things might have planned with that. That's the hard thing to tell.
Yeah, right. Well, Carver, have you seen the DC anime movie? Because there's a few the Super Saiyan may appear in Justice Dark. Well, actually, they may appear after Justice Dark Apocalypse War because other than before that movie is about Darkseid War, but fused with Justice Dark.
Are you asking if I saw Darkseid War?
No. There's CP Justice Dark Apocalypse War. It's a new DC anime movie, and do you think by the end of this movie, this will open the door to the Super Sons? Okay, you're confused. Sorry, I'm screen sharing a bit of the image right now.
I'm just trying to find it here. Was somebody asked that in the chat?
No.
Tevye's asking.
Yeah, I'm screen sharing right now.
Oh, he's talking about
this.
Justice League Dark Apocalypse War.
Yes.
Oh, I've not seen that. I've not watched that yet.
Well, it's not come out, and it wasn't meant to come out until about May.
Yeah, it's coming out May.
hopefully they'll release it sooner because
They might have to.
Because of this virus. And like I said, my fear near the end of that movie, since that movie is doing Jessica Apocalypse War, my fear that movie will end with giving it the finally rebirth universe. Why? Because I didn't even put that universe if I made even so new 52 garbage that it's time to go to rebirth. I said before I die. We need a rebirth anime movie style movie. Because let's face it, the new 52 ran its course. It's dead, it's gone, it's time to go to rebirth with my hope. And since that movie will give us hope, maybe we made a Super Zen movie. Hopefully. I'm kind of opinion on that one. Because we can see with the animated something, anything. Because I know they're doing Young Justice. Oh! Speaking of Young Justice, I want to ask about this. What's the plan on the Young Justice issue 14?
Issue 14. I think. Which are we talking the Bendis one or the Kid David?
Well, Bendis, more precise.
Bendis one, I think, has to do with starting the move into saving
Connor
Kent from wherever he is at the moment.
Which that happened, and that book is a complete clusterfuck on meta. I don't even go and use it anymore. Like, what's the point of this book? I can't connect the dots. I'm confused. Like, you have Aqualite show up, then you have you have Cyrus show up, then Spoiler shows up. Like, I don't know what's going on in that book. I'm confused. Like, come on, what's going on, Young Justin? I'm so confused.
I'm confused with you.
I think you ended up stopping it, didn't you, Comic Boom?
What's that?
I think you ended up stopping collecting Young Justice, didn't you?
Young Justice, I stopped reviewing it. I actually I'm still collecting it. The latest issue is it keeps introducing new characters and there's no story. It's just this is just puking issue. He's just putting more and more characters in the story, but there's no story to put the characters into, and he's just forcing them all together. Terrible.
Yeah, it's a mess.
He's bringing David Walker in as well as co
for Naomi. Naomi.
And
I don't think.
I think he needs to. Oh, hold on. You go first, Comic Boom. I don't want to talk over you.
No, sorry. I was just curious what you thought. I still don't think Young Justice has improved all that much with David Walker. David Walker, I think, helped a little bit. He co-wrote Naomi with Bendis, and Naomi's not bad. Naomi's not a bad 6-issue series. I think the dialogue could be worked a little better, but it's not a bad series. And I think that Naomi might be better because David Walker helped Bendis, not the other way around. But I'm hoping maybe David Walker can talk Bendis into actually writing a decent story for Young Justice, because right now it just feels like the latest issue by putting more characters into Young Justice, that is not what that title needs. What that title needs is a direction and a story. It doesn't have a story for the characters to be in yet. That's the problem. What's your opinion?
It's a mess.
If I were to point out one thing about Bendis's writing, just in DC Comics, is that he has a bad habit of sort of like trying to platform his new characters.
Yeah, like Leviathan or What Cloud.
And I think that's the very thing that sort of like shoots him in the foot as well as the head.
You're right about that, because Leviathan's so boring. I don't give a damn about Leviathan. Leviathan's an awful villain. What's his endgame? What's his plan? Oh, my plan is to kidnap John Kent and make him actually my own weapon. What? If your plan was to contain John Kent and a weapon and kidnap him, then why the hell did he go on John before the Joel crap? Wait a second. I realized something. Leviathan would Okay, this don't know you have my brain for a second. Because in the Man of Steel movie crap, we have Joel. Okay, why? No reason. But then you take John Lord out of space. Lord Bane don't stop burning enough. I did it around and I done all 5 seconds. But I'm not gonna repeat that because I'll scream with rage. But running around with the kidnap John Kent and use him and kidnap him to prevent him from going crazy. Then why the hell didn't he kidnap him in the first place? Constantly get cracked. I don't get it. I don't get Leviathan's endgame. Is garbage.
Well, remember, we're not talking Bendis. We're talking the good stuff.
Yeah,
Super Sons.
But
yeah.
you know what's funny
yes,
though?
we might have our gripes against Bendis.
Yeah. Oh, continue. Come on, boom.
Even though we might have our gripes against Bendis, at least we still have the Super Sons to fall back to.
Yeah.
And that's
This
a
is true,
good thing.
Do you not think though, guys? Wouldn't it be? I think Leviathan would be a better character as a young character. Imagine Leviathan being a 12-year-old villain for the Super Sons.
I would love to read that.
Now that's a good idea.
I would, if I was running DC right now, I would fire Bendis and I would de-age Leviathan to a little 12-year-old punk.
Yeah. That'd be hilarious. I would ready to read that again. I'm 12 years old. No. But and then to go out there and it. No, Ryan, you're the kid. No, I was no, but then I got the carrot. Oh, and then time in the face. Like, I'd pay somebody to see that there John Kent there with kind of right in the face. Like, that'd be hilarious. Like, that would be the most epic story on her story in years. That'd be hilarious. Like, I want to read that pitch. Like, that would be pure comedy gold. I would love to see that happen. Speaking of the Super Gen, I think potentially the girl or any Super Gen related. One thing I do love about the series, only any other series came with DC Gen. Well, that's it. We had Tomorrow Superman, we had Danny Actor meeting, and then we had Super Gen. What made the series great, I think, well, it's consistent. It was great artwork. Was doing everybody to the meeting. It was a great series. It breaks my heart that we lost the series for garbage. But for all the good and the bad, what most of the bad in DC, I'll give DC this. Despite how it's been and destroy everything, this series was everything I ever wanted. Because it started out with this, then went to my Superman. Yep. And then finally after to the crown jewel of all these, well, yes. But this series was epic and great series, and my personal opinion deserved more love and deserved more hope. Yeah, the DC right now is a dark figure right now. It's not fun to read anymore. You're the villain with a failure. The whole not constantly. The whole Reba, I'm gonna got sabotaged like a Herod Crisis, which was kind of the better. And Benny is not doing anything good. So we need to bring Superman back. I said before that I died. DC is not any kind of series for Bendis. Just give me back Superman. D.A. John Kent. Bring him back to do 10 years ago. Let us have a hope and love. We need Superman back in the main universe. Because this Elseworld story with Superman, it's whatever. It's fine. But it's not Super Sons. I want to add, did anyone do our Ava anniversary? That's Super Sons raid. Time, did you do our Ava anniversary?
The anniversary?
Yeah, Robin.
Robin's birthday?
Yes.
Like the last I saw in regards to his birthday was actually in the Benjamin Percy.
No, not that. I'm talking Robin anniversary. You know that one shot that came out?
Oh, the one shot. Oh, the 80th. Oh, yes, I love that. If you get to see, or if you got to watch my review on it. I rated all of the stories. I loved what Peter J. Tomasi did for his one.
Yeah.
It's the only one that got 10 out of 10 from me. It is the only one that got 10 out of 10 from me. Then there was the Robbie Thompson one.
Which was the one Damon Wayne Batman.
I felt like Robbie Thompson was like trying to grasp sort of like both the character of Batman and Damien, but I think he could have done a slightly better job. I also had a look at the Teen Titans that he's actually getting ready to move into.
Yeah.
He does actually have quite a bit of talent there because I liked what he did in that arc. And yeah, it was done alongside with Adam Glass.
Unfortunately.
Co-writing in it. Because I hadn't like seen that issue yet, and I read the special that he put in. I think one thing that he really could have done to sort of like help improve that story is maybe have Batman think of something that relates back to Justice League No Justice.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been sort of like a good turning point for like the character of like seeing, oh, I've made a mistake and I did it here. And then he could like use the reference to Justice League No Justice, because if you look at what happened in the storyline of Justice League No Justice, Damien actually saw a very terrible event.
Yeah.
In that time period, and that sort of like made his character sort of feel, I guess, crack it a bit.
I got to go nuts.
His regression.
And
Adam Glass sort of like used that too when he did the annual. If you look at the annual, and he mentions that takes place after Justice League No Justice.
Yeah.
And what happens in that? So
with the Batman Person team, that's it. This team had disbanded because we don't know how this team is disbanding. Well, okay, I thought it was Starfire went to the Galaxy, Beast Boy went to Titan, Ray went to Titans, Starfire to the Galaxy, Aqualad. I just tell you, we don't know what tonight. We don't even know what happened to Aqualad.
Yeah, Aqualad disappeared, so did Raven and Beast Boy. They ended up moving over to the Titans. That's what happened with them, if you remember.
Yeah.
And even though I was partly following some of what was happening with the Titans, I was sort of like paying attention to what they're doing. They did manage to bring in a new character.
Yeah, they brought Ms. Martian and Steel.
Yeah.
Speaking of Super Team, this has been bothering me a long time. Why can we have Super Team with White's kids? I said it before, I said it again in my Flash review. I said, why do we want White's kids team join Super Sons? Oh! That's an idea. Super Sons team out with White's kids. What problem? Like, how are you a Super Team with White's kids?
What is it? What was it? On Twitter, I'm not too sure if you saw it or not. Mitch Gerard sort of hinted, how about you get the Super Sons to help look after Mr. Miracle's son?
That'd be fun.
Like, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Babysitting project?
Yeah. I would pay to see that. Actually, that ain't even another idea. Like, how should be a babysitter while he's kids? Like, I would take that west. That would be adorable.
And you could still use their school environment.
Yeah.
Like, for that story. It would really work well. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, definitely a great suggestion by Gerard's, but all it needs to do is just, well, show up in a comic book and it would make a little bit more sense.
Yep. But D.A. John kept about 10 years, so let comic books out of existence. That was so evident.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if even Mitch Gerard's misses the young John Samuel Kent. alongside with
Tomasi.
Damian Wayne. So that would be really good to see too.
Yeah. Because, let's face it, Teen John Ken has not worked. It's been a failure. No one likes Teen John Ken. Bendis tried, he failed miserably. It's time to retcon style of existence. Like, Carbon, how would you retcon Bendis' style out of them to get Young John Ken back? Carbon?
Bring back Rebirth. Bring back the storytellers of Rebirth.
Yeah, that's.
Well, if anything, I think that's one of their strongest times that they actually gained more attention from the readers. If you think about it, look what was happening with Superman. Look what was happening with Action Comics. Look what was happening with Batman, and even Detective Comics. We had Tinian on Detective Comics.
Yep.
And what did he do? What did he work on?
Yeah.
He worked on bringing Tim Drake back.
One of the oddities though is that I noticed that with the Adventures of Super Sons, I know that the average monthly sales of each issue is around 20,000, which was a little less than what I would have hoped.
That's odd.
I think that I know it's odd, but because it's one of the little quirks that while everybody seems to say they love the Super Sons, the actual sales could have been better than they were, which I thought was really odd. But I really thought that it was something that it would grow on people, and I really think the time is right to bring the Super Sons back.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good idea to do that because I think they would have a higher readership. That would be my hope. Anyway.
Yeah.
I wonder if some of the hesitancy is like when Adventures of the Super Sons was coming out. Like if you think about it, we had the Bendis Superman and Action Comics coming out, and they thought, oh, maybe Bendis is going to be working on those titles, so therefore we aren't going to put our money toward those titles, thinking that. But when the readers who have been following it know that yes, it's going to be Tomasi still writing that run, they still go and collect it.
Yeah.
Bring it to those exact numbers, and the rest of the readers being, I'd have to say, slightly ignorant or not paying full attention as to what was happening with it. And that would make sense as to why it might have brought those sales down to which they did.
Well, man, the marketing went there. The marketing, you can tell there's no marketing in this book. This book was sabotaged from day one by you and Ben. Well, not Bendis. Bendis, as a writer, I'm sure he's not going to do it.
Bendis can keep you sabotaged to his Jinx World stories.
Yeah, whatever you want. But I smell more the deal. This is more the deal in it all. But he ain't got a Super Sons. All he got is a dark, gritty, edgy universe again. Because New 52 was a failure. DCU was a failure. We didn't get hope, but then they got sabotaged by Hill and Price garbage and No Justice and with Ben Tingle Shoeman. Three the stuff that forces that messed everything up. You just got started like Young John Ken. Scott Justice League, we saw Young John Ken in Justice League issue number, I think issue 30, issue 35, I don't remember issue. But he saw Young John Ken with his father. Like, Snyder loved Young John Ken. Like, come on, Young John. Everybody loves Young John Ken. I don't get Ben's logic. No one loves Young John Ken. Wait, what? Where did you go take that with my Young John Ken? I don't get it. Like, it's just driving me nuts.
Well, we're getting close to the end. Well, we're getting close to the end of the broadcast. So, what have you been reading in this time?
I've been reading Spidey. I've been reading Ben Schumann, even though that book has been destroying me. Read the superhero I read for John, but I'm reading all because Ben is showing Young John Ken again and read the superheroes. But question, Bendis, is If you had Young John Kenshaw and Rudy superhero, then why did we have Young John Kenshaw and Rudy superhero in the first place? Even so, David Wayne had in that issue. What? I'm sorry. If you had Young John Kenshaw and Rudy superhero in that one panel, why can't I have my John Kenshaw and Rudy superhero? Why do we have that 18 John Kenshaw rip off? I don't know DC, typically John I'm reading, but that's about it for DC. As for Marvel, I read Outlaw, which was a Civil War event. Oh, good, no Civil War event Marvel. Yay.
A new comic boom?
I'm enjoying right now the last issue of Batman and the White Knight. Curse of the White Knight.
I love it. It's awesome. Batman Beyond!
Batman Beyond just came out today. Or I just picked these up today. I haven't read them yet. Batman Beyond number 42. And Batman Superman number 8 by Williamson. I guess I'll check that out.
Yeah.
And there's a whole slew here I got. I like the I enjoy Red Sonja too. But
nice.
Oh, that's awesome. So you enjoy some of the indie stuff?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I read a lot of Red Sonja, and Betty and Veronica team up with Red Sonja and Umbrella.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's fun reading, and I'm enjoying Killing Red Sonja.
That's dark.
It's a series. Unfortunately, all these story arcs. I mean, we don't know when we're going to be able to pick up comics again. So
yeah,
we might not. We might not be able to know how these stories end for many months, depending on how this pandemic goes. So
yeah, because of the C virus.
But
hopefully, my LCS remembers to send out my list.
Yeah.
I know I've had to change the way I get my comics because of this. And yes, even if it means getting it sent out and still keeping business with the LCS, I'm happy to do that because I'm happy with the staff there. I like how they go out of their way to get stuff for you.
Do you collect Marvel? Do you guys collect Marvel comics?
I personally collect Marvel, DC, and I do also pick up independents. So
I pick up the trade to Marvel. I pick up these Spider-Man trades. X-Men. I do get 100 Powder Back. I love X-Men. X-Men been awesome. Avengers. I dropped off. Marvel Spider-Man. It's not better than the Son of Man, but this is the Outlaw event. I'm gonna drop off. Because I don't do enough Civil War event. I can't do another Marvel event. Marvel event just break me. DC, I read Adam 4. I read Adam events is gonna read up of the destruction. And then we can do DC. That's about it. I'm just waiting until Death Metal comes out because I'm watching Death Metal. Death Metal is awesome. But I ain't never Bendis. I'm done, Bendis. Bendis has just broke me to many pieces. I can't do it anymore. That book just destroyed me. But at the indie stuff, I read Birthright and Spawn are amazing. Holy shit, Spawn is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Of the Marvel titles that I've been collecting here, I've been getting ASM, Amazing Spider-Man, with Spencer. And I enjoyed when the art came on through Patrick Gleason.
Yeah,
but it was only for like a small time, which was really sad. I would have liked to have seen him like go longer.
Yeah.
Apart from that, there was Miles Morales Spider-Man. I do actually enjoy what Saladin Ahmed has done with Miles Morales. It comes off more clearer than what Brian Michael Bendis actually did.
Yeah.
The character feels like he's got more of a soul instead of feeling soulless. So that's a big difference between storyteller.
Yeah.
And he recently introduced that Miles Morales now has a sibling.
Yep, his sister.
Yep. So that's really nice. So it's going to see him
That's adorable.
dote around his sibling.
Yeah.
Was really clever. I liked how at the beginning that he used his journal.
Yep.
To connect us to Miles Morales, and that was really good. And he's been using it sort of like all the way through the run. Yes, he's moving it into Outlawed, but let's see how he goes with Outlawed when that happens.
I do want to say, Mario got by a clone of himself. Would I say, why? Why would you do a clone saga? I'm done with clones. I can't do with clones. Like, Spider-Man clones don't miss. They always end a disaster.
Another Marvel title that I ended up picking up out of interest was also Ironheart with Eval Ewing. And surprisingly, it's, again, not too bad a run. It's a little bit better than what Brian Michael Bendis gave us.
Yep.
And, yeah, this character now has legit flaws, and you do feel something a little bit more towards the character. But you also see her work with, like, one of her best friends who's practically her next-door neighbor. Welcome back, Chrono.
Didn't she appear at the end of the Iron Man book?
And in this stuff, I've been picking up, what is it, Safe Sex, Middle West. Love Middle West. I enjoy what Scotty Young has been doing on that.
Nice.
I recently read the last issue. I ended up picking up another new title recently, and it reminds me of this 80s, I think it was an 80s movie called The Last Starfighter.
Oh, yeah, I know that movie. That movie is a classic.
Yeah, all right. The title of it is called Hexagon.
Hexagon? Never heard of it.
I know. In the beginning stage of it, and as you're reading it, I'm getting vibes like this feels like The Last Starfighter.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's set around a young teenage character, and I'm just waiting for the next issue to come out in which this character will be brought up, teleported up, and here he is, literally being a starfighter into the galaxy, and I just want to read it. I want to see the whole story of this.
Speaking of indie book, I can read that after. Have you read Mech Cadet U?
I have the free trades for it.
Yep.
And that's a great pack. I remember seeing just some guy on his channel recommend it, and I thought, okay, because of your recommendation, I might actually go out and pick it up. I haven't read through it, but I get why he enjoys it. So it might actually turn up on a Vault review for Rainbow Press and Comics. And because of some of the changes that have been happening, and I'd imagine it would also happen with your channels as well.
Yeah.
Okay, seeing that I might not be getting my comics weekly, how about I use what I do have to get out reviews? Like, on my shelf, I've got manga here. I've got comic trades here that I haven't read. If I come across any trades here that I enjoy, guess what's going up for a review?
Yep. Well, I probably do that too.
So,
I probably like to trade. I do my Spider-Go.
Yeah.
I do like Spider-Go trade with Volume 1, Volume 2, complete collection. I'll probably review those because. I made a pitch video. I did a crossover video. My crossover with Marvel DC. I went to see that in Chicago. It was a great pitch. It was fun. That's a good point. So, character flaws. So, at present, Bar Gaming doesn't character flaws for panel.
Well, I think character flaws really do help a character in storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, what's so good about Naomi, or let alone Brian Michael Bendis' Young Justice? It's almost as if they can do nothing wrong. It's a Mary Sue scenario, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Naomi is so boring. I'm so tired of her in every single book. I think she's boring. Young Justice is boring. She's so boring character in her book, but in her own series, it was good. Why the hell do I not buy Naomi character in other books, but in her own series, it was good? I don't get it. I really don't. Also, in Jezebel's Diary, the Hero show up. Wait, hold on. That means that the Diary of the Hero disappeared in the series. Oh wait, that series ended. Pretty sad, but that series was good. The Wonder Twins. I don't care about Wonder Twins.
I'd even go as far as to say I think they are gonna need to get rid of Gotham Girl.
Yeah.
Well,
Because what Tom King's done with that character is made it too OP.
Yeah.
And the character needs flaws. You're not going to win the character if they don't have any flaws.
Gotham Girl have flaws.
If they don't have any flaws. They did have some great ideas with the flaws of, I think it was in the Joshua Williamson crossover, The Truth?
Yeah.
With Batman?
No, I did it the Price, was it?
The Price, that's it, The Price.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I knew it was one of them.
Yeah.
I think they addressed the issue of sort of like the truth in that as well. But in it, we got to see the character having a bit of addiction to, I think it was Bane's venom.
It's Bane's venom to bring her blood back to life.
Yeah, and that was really clever because it shows that this character requires this to live, or at least try to live and still do their job at the same time.
Yeah, but then she went freaking nuts because Psycho Pirate messed with her mom. Wait, that's a plot point that never got finished. What about Psycho Pirate? Speak of Pirate, 5-Point Batman. What about 5-Point Batman? We have Mr. Archer and Ben Superman, and then we have 5-Point Archer and Tom King Batman. I assume by both together, they're gonna team up together and fight Superman and Batman. Why the hell gonna Mr. Archer and 5-Point Batman team up? That would make sense.
All right, what really ruined Tom King's run? Yeah, we know the key thing that ruined Tom King's run was the wedding.
Yep.
That was the big one. But I did actually enjoy some of the prelude stuff that Tim Seeley worked on.
The prelude was good. I heard the prelude stuff.
I still need to go out of my way and pick that up because I loved what he did with Damian.
Yeah.
I enjoyed what he did with Nightwing. I enjoyed what he did with Red Hood. Then there was Batgirl.
No Tim Drake.
No Tim Drake at all, which was really disappointing.
Yeah.
And I think the last one was Joker and Harley.
That was weird. I didn't get that one. I didn't read that one because it's just so weird.
Yeah, which sort of like led into the prelude issues coming into issue 50. And that's where the slump really began.
Yeah, and then issue 50 happened and no wedding.
One arc that I did enjoy in the Tom... Yeah, one arc that I did enjoy in the Tom King run, and I did pick up the trade for it, it was the Rules of Engagement. And you had some great scenes with Damian and Nightwing.
Yeah,
Damian and Dick Grayson. That was fantastic. I love that.
Same. They also having John in that book.
That in there together.
Yeah. They also having John in that story. It was great.
Yeah, he did get something wrong in the issue at the time, sort of like having to do with Damian's age. But I'm glad that the editors came in, corrected it.
Yeah. Yeah. And they also having John in the
trade. The editing really helped the trade.
Yeah.
More so than the comic. And it just nailed that scenario. And of
Mhm.
course, you had a situation where you had Catwoman against Tyler Al Gore. And I want to point out, this isn't the first time that Catwoman has actually done fighting against Talia Al Ghul.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually happened before. In fact, it's been shown that she's gotten a little bit of training under her, and it was through like Gotham City Sirens.
I did not read Gotham City Sirens. Can we imagine if we see him not Kryptonite? Oh yeah, that did happen in issue 80. Okay, not issue 80. I don't know the issue page that happened. When he fired Goblin Girl. When
Chrononaut brings up a good point, having to do with that run, is that Damien mentions to Superman that he would use magic to beat Superman, and I also like the response of which Superman gave too.
Yeah.
It's sort of like you wouldn't want that getting back to John, would you? And it's sort of like, oh
Yeah.
his friend. In other words, he wouldn't be able to see his best friend anymore after that.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, how much do you value your friendship? But I think with him using it in the case of, say, against Gotham Girl, all right, I reckon that was a real clever choice.
Yeah.
Because at least it shows that he's not afraid to use that means to bring down someone who has or who is a villain.
Even the Titan, she's not really a villain. She's just messing the head.
Yeah.
The point is, she got manipulated by the Psycho Pirate, but then got restored by Psycho Pirate Console. But then Spider-Man happened, which when Spider-Man showed up in Tony Run, I feel confused because wait, why is Spider-Man here? Why was Spider-Man trying at the end of Spider-Man die? Oh wait, then they explained issue 80, I think issue 80 thing, and then Reverse Flash saved them. Which what? Dr. Menage saved them. Why you have Reverse Flash? This is Junior Card. Junior got the way hurt Tom and Batman run. Like Junior got Joy hurt everything. Which sucks. I love Junior. I love Junior Card, but that Joy's hurt that book.
And Comic Boom, what do you have plans for your channel in this time period?
Coming up, I'm probably going to review a couple of Wonder Woman comics, maybe The Flash. I'm going to be reviewing God Country. I'm going to be reviewing probably The Resistance, which was a new comic book that came out. I really enjoy.
I did hear about that. Is it good?
There's a whole slew here, and there's a couple of indie comics I'm going to review. I might do an overarching review of Far Sector.
Oh, listen.
Oh yeah.
I'm enjoying that. Yeah, there's so many great series right now that unfortunately Far Sector issue 5 just came out and it didn't conclude the first arc, so we're gonna have to wait another 2 or 3 months.
God damn, that sucks.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'm hoping to. We all have a little bit more free time in this pandemic, so we'll see what I'll end up reviewing.
Well, would you be up for another stream? Not now, but maybe within a week.
Yeah.
Like for Super Sons, Fortress of Attitude again. Maybe we could cover something else, Super Sons related, or even a character within Super Sons, or maybe we could actually start on the first arc that led to the Super Sons.
Yeah, we
which gives everyone a bit of time to catch up and.
Yeah.
Just give me a heads up on the arc, and yeah, we can talk about it.
Yep. All right, then. Well, maybe we can make a decision on Twitter which arc we want to cover, and we'll go from there. And
we could go to the first story. The first story was the Superman story first. But then
the first one was Trials of the Super Sons.
Trials of Super Sons, yeah, with the volume 1.
Unless we want to start at Son of Superman.
I see if we just do Son of Superman makes more sense because that's the first story. second screen of John. Well, kind of short. The first story for John actually is Superman Lois and Clark.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to leave of time on, we could go volume 1 of Superman with a degree.
Yeah, which would be the son of Superman.
Yeah, right. I actually think we should cover that story.
Sound good?
Sounds like fun.
Yep.
All right then.
well, before we go, for my channel, I'm gonna review actually do my channel because I love this game. He's awesome, badass, and he did a great game. Right, so I'll probably review this one day on that game. But after I review, I'm gonna hopefully review maybe some old trick. Maybe I'll review Spider Girl. I do own that. I'll try to review the Base Batman Volume 1 trade with Nick Spencer. I reviewed Ultimate already. Ultimate from the Ultimate Rich. But other than that, I don't know. I'll pop in something.
All right.
Maybe I'll talk about Marvel DC.
Well, how about you show your channels?
Yep.
Xavier? You
Yeah.
can go first this time.
Yeah, you can follow me on YouTube, Terry Smoker. You can follow me on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitch as well, Terry Smoker. They're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Google right there now. You're following that there on Stardust. I think that's it.
And Comic Boom? Show your channel.
What's the question?
You can show your channel now.
Sorry, guys, I'm getting static. What was the question again?
Okay.
You can share a channel with me. Where can we find you?
Oh, on my channel?
Yeah.
I'm on Comic Boom. That's the name of my channel, Comic Boom ! And just review mostly DC comics, and I usually rant and rave, and I usually get upset and I don't get as upset as Tevye does, but I
yeah.
the only thing I don't do, I like how you touch your face in frustration. That's what I do. Because I love the way you get so frustrated, my friend. You're just like me usually when I usually drink to I don't want to encourage alcoholic intake. I don't want you to compromise your health. I don't want you to I wish you all, both of you, to stay healthy, stay safe, stay isolated, and read a lot of comics.
Will do.
Yeah. And thank you to all who joined us in the chat. Chrono, Eric Green, I think he's since gone. Ed Brewer and whoever else managed to join us. And anyone who manages to join and leave a comment after or even watching the live stream, big thanks to you. Wouldn't be able to do it without you.
Yep.
Of course, my channel's to Healing29. I cover comics, manga, anime reviews, mainly on the website on Rainbow Press and Comics. But this is the legit first live stream for the Super Sons Fortress of Attitude website, so feel free to check it out. I'll have to remember to edit the information to put it in the afterwards, but that's all right. We're not in a big rush. Stay safe during this crisis, whether this can be real or imagined. And we'll see you next time at the Super Sons Fortress of Attitude.
Bye.